Doink. Supa's podcast. Ouch!
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to introduce to you the voice of Randi from Secret of Mana. Tom, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So let's just start. I first want to know, how does it feel to basically land the main role of Secret of Mana, just this absolutely beloved game?
Crazy, absolutely crazy. I never in a million years did I even dream of landing this role, so it's very, very exciting. I am over the moon. I'm really excited for the release.
Yeah, it's gonna be in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Are you so pumped?
I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I got butterflies. I got all kinds of things going on with me, so I'm ready for this game to be released. I'm really excited to play it. I am ready to just play it. I'm ready to just get into some mana adventures. Yeah, but it's like I don't know, I can imagine hearing my own voice in a video game. That's gotta feel so epic. I don't know. You've done other voices for video games before, right? Or is this your first time? Yeah. Yeah, I've done video games, anime, cartoons, a bunch of other stuff. So you get used to it, but at first it was very jarring just to hear. I'm like, that's what I sound like? So it's weird. It's weird too, because I've watched a couple of the gameplays and the trailers for Secret of Mana, and to just kind of hear it, and now it's just here, it's living, it's breathing now. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds alright. Cool.
You played Secret of Mana as a kid, right?
I did.
Yeah.
It's funny because my dad would always take me to the video rental store, and I just loved the cover of it. I thought it was just cool. So I used to play it with a friend who used to live across the street from me, and we'd always rock, paper, scissors to see who'd be Randi and who'd be the other two, Prim and Popoi. So it was fun. Never beat it. I think the farthest we got up to was the Fire Palace. And
the Fire Palace.
That was just about it. Yeah.
Yeah, the box art is beautiful. It holds up even to this day with the cranes and the forest. It's beautiful. You should I'm surprised you haven't had. I'm sure because you're busy, but I'm surprised you didn't replay the SNES version before this came out.
I went back and forth because I got the SNES Classic, and that has Secret of Mana on it, and I went back and forth. I was just like, should I play it now or should I just wait? And so I made the decision to wait. I've asked other cast members too who are in the game, and they're divided on the issue. Some have played it, and some are going to wait for the remake to come out. But either way, I'm excited to actually finally finish the game.
What are your favorite memories of playing Secret of Mana with your friend?
As I was saying before, it was just a fun, it was almost unheard of, to do co-op in games,
totally.
So when Secret of Mana came out, it was just cool to just, have a friend to play with me, and we just go to town on enemies and baddies and just all that stuff, and just spamming magic and stuff like that. So, but again, we both wanted to be Randi, so we'd play rock, paper, scissors to see because we didn't want to be the girls, but it was cool because
it's funny that you said. That's funny that you said be the girls, because I straight up thought the sprite was a girl because of the pink hair for the longest time.
I did too, and it was funny because recording, they let me know, and in fact, you'll hear it too in Secret of Mana, that Popoi is always referred to as they, or using gender-neutral terms.
Right.
Because they told me specifically, that Popoi is gender-neutral. So when you play the game, you'll hear us referring to Popoi as, oh, our little friend, or they, some things like that.
Oh wow, interesting. What was the auditioning process like? I mean, you're working with Square Enix, that's a huge company, very well known. Was it kind of similar or different for you?
Different. This one was different from my usual audition process. What happened, and it's funny because I've asked a lot of the other cast members how they got the audition for Secret of Mana, and most of them have different stories, so it's really, really funny. My story is that I was working on another game at the time. It was Halo Wars 2.
Oh, wow.
And I was voicing some of the vehicles in that.
Vehicles?
Yeah, it's fun. And cool. The director at the time, I didn't know. It was the first time working with this director in the studio. And she was just like, you are really good. And I was like,
that's awesome.
and she was telling me that, hey, I'm about to wrap up an audition on this game that I'm casting. Would you be interested in auditioning? And I was like, sure, send me the sites. We traded business cards, and she sent me the sites. And like at the time, I didn't know it was Secret of Mana. It had a code name. And yeah, and so, but they did send like little, and I didn't recognize the art on it. It did look familiar, but they left most of the things just as secret as they wanted to keep it a secret. They wanted to keep Secret of Mana a secret. So, and I didn't know, and so I had received a bunch of auditions for a lot of the male characters, some of the elders, the mush booms.
Oh wow!
A lot of the bosses, so like Thanatos and Sheiks and Geshtar and a bunch of. I thought, and it was funny because I auditioned for a bunch of them, Randi included. But I didn't expect to even get cast in this. I was just like, I didn't, because again, the importance of it didn't weigh on me because I didn't recognize what it was. So I was just like, oh, bam, boom, bam, another audition, let me get this done. And I thought, like, okay, if I book, I'll book this blonde guy who was Dialek. Yeah,
he's like the heartthrob.
Yeah, that's why I thought, like, okay, I'll probably get him. And so this was in late April. And about a week later, the director emails me saying, hey, congrats, you got cast as the lead in this. And I was like, cool, what is it? And then I found out, and I was like, so I was over the moon. I was really, really excited. And to find out that I was going to, because again, it was all code named and everything, but to know that I was getting to work with Square Enix, which was something off of my voice acting bucket list, was just, again, a dream come true. So I was really, really excited.
So what's it like working with Square Enix?
Great. They're so great. Working with them in the booth. So when I found out I got the lead, I was just nervous as heck. I did as much research on the game as possible. I was looking up just like old like interviews from like the composers and the directors of the old game, and trying to learn as much as I can about that. And what was great was that they sent me the script ahead of time. But what was weird was that they only sent me my lines for Randi, and there were a ton of pages. I did a ton of recording for Randi, and I didn't really have too much context. It started to like kind of click together from when I played as a kid. Like, okay, this is this scene, this is that scene. But as soon as it got further along in the game, I'm like, okay, spoiler alert for a lot of this. It was cool. It was cool getting to work with Square because they were just fun. It was just fun. We had the line producer in there, along with the director and the engineers, and we were just. I was really intimidated, kind of going in because I'm like, okay, this is my first lead role in anything. I've done
wow! Congrats!
Thanks. Yeah.
Wow.
So no pressure, right?
Oh my gosh.
So going in there, it was just cool. It was just cool. Like she introduced herself, and it was cool because in the studio they even had the Famicom version of Secret of Mana on there for the original Famicom game. So it was like on display there. So I was just like, this is really cool. This is really awesome. And they were great. They were great to work with. Really, they let me really feel at ease. Like there were a lot of jokes, a lot of joking around, and when recording, a lot of bloopers. I don't know if they could do anything with those, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun working with Square.
Wow, that's so cool. So it sounds like it was a very professional. Like you were in the studio and.
I don't know if I'd use professional, but I came in like going like, okay. I gotta be serious. I gotta. Hello there. How are you? And no, it was all thrown out the window once we started just like joking around about a bunch of things. One of the things that that was really fun was recording the battle scenes, just like the effort that Randi does. And one of them is the characters. At one point, there's an enemy that turns them into Mughals. Who are popular Final Fantasy franchise. And so they had in there because Mughals say Kupo.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
Kupo.
What? Yeah, I was like, what do Mughals sound like? And they're like, go for it. And I was like, Kupo. And they started busting up laughing, and I'm like, You know what? I can't wait to see what Prim and Papoy sound like.
Yeah. Lizzie had told me that you guys haven't met the voice of her name. The girl's name's Prim, right?
Yeah. No, I don't know who she is yet, so hopefully we'll find out when the game's released.
Yeah, on the 15th, man. You pre-ordered it, right?
I have it on, and I also pre-ordered the physical edition just to keep.
You have to. I had no idea that was your first main role. What an accomplishment that's your first main role. That's incredible.
Okay, real stoked.
Yeah, oh, that's amazing. So now I want to look at some of Twitter questions. I think I know which one was your friend's, and I actually really like it, so I'm going to ask it first. Okay. Is that okay?
Sure.
Is it the cannibal one?
No.
Oh, okay, I'm going to ask this one first.
Okay.
Okay, so DJ Ningo, sorry if I said that wrong. If a cannibal dies and becomes a ghost, do they start to eat other ghosts, or do they still eat people? First of all, do you believe in ghosts?
No, I don't.
Either do I. I do not believe in ghosts.
Next question.
Yeah. Next question.
Well, we all know that, ghosts, they eat dreaded wheat or blueberry. I don't know.
Obviously, yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's funny because we were talking. I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were talking about zombies and vampires.
As you do.
Does the vampire become a zombie, or does the zombie become a vampire?
Yeah. They're totally, in my opinion, they're two separate. Like, they don't become each other. Like, one is from, like, an illness, and one is, like, just, like, a race that is like, secret.
There you go.
Yeah. Answered it for you. It's not even my interview. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so here's a real question from Panda on Ice. What are some voice actors that inspire you?
Oh, Mel Blanc as a kid. He's known for doing all the Looney Tunes characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Yosemite Sam, and stuff. So. Oh
wow.
Voices, and that guy I really looked up to.
Cool, yeah.
He's amazing. I also love Steve Bloom. He's awesome. He's for anime fans. He's Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop.
Oh wow.
He's a bunch of other things. He's Wolverine. Just countless roles. James Arnold Taylor. Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite Final Fantasies, and he plays Tidus in that. So.
Oh wow! Could you like?
I love his laugh.
Yeah, the laugh. I was gonna say, that's amazing. Okay, were you nervous about doing his voice, and do you think this game will live up to the hype after the 1993 game? And that's from Falcon. Falcon456788.
Yeah, definitely. Once I found out, it was interesting because I didn't know what it was at the time. So when I didn't like. I was just like, okay, it'd be cool if I got this. If not,
yeah.
So when I found out what it was, then the nerves started kicking in, and I was just like, okay, I gotta do all this. I'm recording next week. I gotta do all this. I gotta research and all that stuff. And it all became kind of moot once I stepped into because again, it was the same director I worked on with for Halo Wars 2.
That's right. Yeah.
So that was already, like, she had already worked with me before, so she already kind of knew my style and my range. And then just working with the Square producer was just awesome, too. So all those nerves kind of went away when I just kind of started getting into it and started getting into the story and into the character. Yeah. Will it live up to the hype? I hope so. A lot of people are really excited about this game. Yeah. This nostalgia factor alone. Everybody says it's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Japanese RPG of all time. Oh, yeah. So, talk about putting pressure on that.
I know, I can't imagine.
But, yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people are really excited for it. There's so many great things, and so many awesome things that are improved upon from the original. Like, I know a lot of the dialogue was kind of lost in translation when it was localized back in the early 90s. And a lot of that was fixed. They actually improved a lot of the dialogue. They added a bunch of cutscenes, which I'm really excited about. Some really cool interactions with the characters. Yeah. They've actually added stuff that I don't think I'm allowed to say yet.
Okay. No
waiting
worries.
for them to announce. There's some extra stuff that I recorded that
Ooh.
it's going to be cool to check out too, and that just kind of really adds to the story. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a great game, and whether or not it's a first-time player playing it or someone playing it again after 20 some odd years, I think it's going to be great.
Oh, me too. But it's like with something this large, it's like you're going to have some controversy. It's like, because this is a big thing, so you're going to probably, and I don't know if you've experienced like any haters when you're on the internet, you know, you get some comments. Are you like prepared for that, do you think, for any type of...
I've been doing this for about 6 or 7 years now,
so you got it.
I've voiced in other things too, like anime and cartoons and all kinds of other stuff. So it's I've gotten those, and honestly, that's okay. If people don't like my voice or they don't like somebody's voice for whatever reason, that's okay. That's why what's great about this game is there's dual audio, so you can switch between the English and Japanese, which was interesting because at the time that I recorded, they had not recorded the Japanese yet.
Really?
I was one of the first ones to actually record for Randy, so I had no frame of reference of what they wanted to sound. They said specifically, actually, even when we were recording, that they wanted to go for a Saturday morning cartoon style.
No way!
So, yeah. That's awesome. So, and they actually showed me an old-timey commercial of Secret of Mana. This is kind of when they were promoting it back in the 90s. It looked very Saturday morning cartoon. And so that's what they, at least for the English localization, they wanted to emulate that. They told me later that for the Japanese one, completely different. They wanted to go more kind of anime style. Yeah. And again, like with the Japanese, like everything they I mean, their voices already just sound so cool. Yeah. But like very poetic, very you know, different translation. Cool. So it's different. So whatever anybody's speed is, that's I'm totally cool with. Like you don't have to like my. There are times that I listen to myself. I'm like, oh yeah, they're right. Oh no. No, but for Randy, I listened to it, and I am really thrilled on it. I know some people have already said like, oh, I'm not sure I like his voice or whatever. Give it a chance, I say. You know, and again, if you don't like it. But there's some really cool scenes that I recorded a lot of dialogue for it. So, and another interesting thing I'll say that I think I can say about the game is when the game starts off, Randy is this really just kind of like wimpy guy. So he kind of has a really like, he has a lot of anxiousness in his voice. Yeah. And they really, really like that. But as you continue on in the game, and you can actually hear it kind of in his battle cries and stuff when he's swinging the sword or using his whip or whatever. Later on in the game, when he becomes more and more confident, his voice changes a little bit. So you'll actually get to hear that kind of growth as you progress through the game. So he kind of takes on a more, just like, yeah, I can do it kind of mentality. And you'll actually hear it in the attacks as well. Awesome. We actually recorded 2 separate attacks, Wimpy Randy and then Hero Randy.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, and I think that's really smart because a big part of Secret of Mana is leveling, and not only leveling your character, but leveling all of those different weapons. So there is like that huge growth that Randy has. So I think that's awesome that they wanted to add that nuance in. Absolutely.
There's a lot of nuance in the game. I mean, it is a silly game, and it's so funny to see people take it so seriously, like what they expected of the game. But at the end of the day, it's a game where you meet Santa Claus at one point.
I know! They call him Master Santa Claus like they did in the Super Nintendo version.
I'm trying to remember.
It's okay if you don't. They literally, in the English, like on the Super Nintendo version, he's not just Santa Claus, it's Master Santa Claus. So that'll be something we'll wait to find out.
For sure. But and as I was saying too, there are really serious moments. There are really, really good, heartfelt moments in the game where at one point I made the directors cry during one scene. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but like play the game and I hope you like it. And if you don't, switch to the Japanese. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Just play the game, love the game. I love the game. Yeah. A lot of people are really excited for it. I'm just stoked that you're playing.
Yeah, it's tough when you're dealing with nostalgia because every kid has their own memory of the game. They have their own conceptualization of what Randy sounds like, and just so it's always an uphill battle trying to remake something so nostalgic. But I mean, I love what you said. It's like give it a chance, and there's other options. So like, don't hate.
Yeah, exactly. Just enjoy the game. Just I mean, it's all there is to it. Yeah, you put it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had fun making the game. So please check it out when it comes out.
I know I will for sure. Awesome! I can't wait, and it's so cool because I'll get to know the voices. Like I know Tom. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to what is called Secret of Mana Theater. So I decided we would do that. So you're gonna voice Randy, and you're gonna voice the goblins, and then I'll voice the girl.
Great, let's do it.
Secret of Mana Theater! Ow!
Help! Ouch! You! Do not move. Just stay still. You are very lucky. You are going to be our main dish. Help! Let me go! Oh, you look delicious. Hey! The dancing has already begun! Let's join in!
Hey! Hey, you! What on earth are you doing, you idiot?
Please, help me!
Shh! Quiet! Let's get out of here.
I guess I've had dreams of being a voice actor. It's like, where do you even start with that?
That's such a difficult question. How do you start? But I'll tell you my story on how I started. I was lucky enough in high school to figure out really early on that I just wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
To begin with. And so I never knew that voice acting could really be a thing. Like I watched, I grew up with cartoons as a kid. I did watch anime in high school, so that's kind of what really triggered my interest in it. And my background is in computer technology, so I worked for a lot of companies like Apple, Hulu, and in fact at Hulu I was working tech support there.
Oh, wow.
And a friend of mine, coworker, was telling me that he was taking voiceover classes in Burbank.
Oh.
And I was like, what? That's amazing.
That's so cool.
Can I come? And he was like, yeah, just come to the next class with me. So I did, and I just got hooked, and that's kind of how I got all my information doing that. So I learned all I could doing that. I cut what's called a voiceover demo, which is basically a 1-minute sampling of the different types of voices you can do.
Cool.
And you just send it out to people, and if they like you, they'll bring you in or put you on their roster to do auditions, all kinds of stuff. That's how I got my agent.
Wow, yeah.
That's how I in with some studios, and it's been a crazy, wild, awesome ride. And it's so funny because a lot of people like that I would talk to on the phone would say like, you have a really good voice.
I know, and I had said that. I said that right when I heard your voice. I was like, I can already tell you have a really great voice. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. I do a lot of commercials too.
Oh, you do? What commercials have you done?
Oh, I did stuff for McDonald's.
Oh, sweet.
I did a Bud Light commercial just recently.
Oh my god, did you have to have like that kind of manly rasp or whatever?
If you want to drink Bud Light, be a man.
That's exactly it. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun. I do all kinds of things from commercials, audiobooks, narration, anime, video games. It's whatever I can, wherever they need a voice, I will do it. In fact, I also do the voice of Crush the sea turtle from Finding Nemo in a live show over at Disneyland.
Shut up! That is so cool! What?
Yeah, I have him here too.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Oh.
Jaws.
That's amazing. So how often do you go to Disneyland then?
A couple days every week. So
basically you're telling me you have the dream job. Is like you get to just have fun. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly can't imagine myself doing anything else, so I'm loving where I'm at right now, and I just want to keep doing what I'm doing.
That's so cool. So I know that like at least from the knowledge that I have about voice acting, is that usually you get kind of typecast as doing these certain types of voices. So what types, it sounds like you do a lot though, but like what different types of voices do you usually get? You know, like as for Randy, like a young hero, so you probably get asked to like voice young heroes a lot, or I don't know, turtles, whatever.
Yeah, you nailed it though. Yeah, the idealistic young hero is my voice type. So like it'll fit into younger characters like Randy. I also voice in anime too. I'm always the kind of like sidekick character to the main character, so always like the kind of like eager best friend young character. Which is why I thought, like, because I got cast as that a lot, I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe I can fall in with dialogue. Maybe I'll get that. Yeah. And it's just so cool to just get Randy. So
yeah, really, you nailed it. That's awesome.
But I can do other things, like I mentioned, I do Crush as well, and he's just he's a little lower and then just kind of sloppy, so you kind of go,
That's perfect. Awesome. I asked Lizzie this question, and I'm going to ask you, out of all of your voice acting jobs, like, what are the 2 most different sounding voices that you've done?
Ooh, tough. Because I've done a lot. It's funny because I usually get cast for my natural voice. Yeah. So, not a whole lot of different. I will tell you for when I auditioned, I'll give you 2 that I auditioned for. One was for Secret of Mana. One was the Earth Elemental Gnome.
Sweet, so I love him.
I gave him like a kind of like Bronxy kind of like. Hey, listen. So you and the missus over there can sing.
Oh my God! Yes, that's amazing. Oh my God.
One of the elders, I gave him a really old kind of. You can harness the power of the Mana Sword with love, courage, and hope, or whatever.
That's perfect. So, that's perfect.
Something like that. I do Crush as well. You heard me do that. Like, dude, no way.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
It's just all a matter of just placing your voice and just whatever they ask me to do, I'll do my best, even if it's a bad impression of something.
Oh, that's awesome. I think we have to do another Secret of Mana Theater where you voice the gnome, that gnome elemental, with that voice, because that's amazing. Secret of Mana Theater!
Whew. Thanks. That oaf was always bugging me. Forgive me. I used you to get some relief.
Dolt, serve me and maybe I'll forgive you. Otherwise, I'll throw you to my servant, Randy.
No, let me be your servant. Hey, who are you calling a servant? Oh dear. Anyway, calls me anytimes, anywheres. Now, close your eyes. Both you and your wife may summon me.
What? Me married to that? I like your style, gnome.
Well, that's that. Be seeing you.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me. You were so much fun. Where can people... Of course. Where can viewers and my fans go to follow you for updates?
I'm on Twitter mostly, so at TomBauerVO. You can find me on Facebook too. You can follow me on there. I think it's Tom Bauer VO as well. Also, visit my website, www.tombauervoice.com. I'm going to have some convention appearances coming up later this year.
Really? Where?
I can't say yet.
Okay.
I want to, but yes. Follow me on Twitter and keep up with my website. I'll post them on there when I can. And if I'm in your town, come visit me. And if you want me at your town, please tell your local convention. I'd love to come and say hi to you, sign autographs, and do all that. And also, I'll be doing some Secret of Mana giveaways. I did one just recently, giving away an SNES Classic and print of Secret of Mana signed by some of the cast. So I'll be doing more of that. So please follow me, check me out.
You should get a YouTube channel. You don't have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't. I just started streaming some things on Twitch.
Oh, so you're doing more of the Twitch thing. That makes sense.
But I did get together with a cast, and I asked Square if this is okay. But I'm hoping we can do like a Let's Play.
Yes.
the cast. So
That would be
hopefully,
amazing.
if we are able to follow me on that, I'll give you all the updates and you
Yeah.
can check it out. Hopefully, we can turn it into like a charity stream or something.
Okay, so just like what I asked Lizzie, I was wondering if you could use Randy's voice to just like thank my viewers for watching, you know, to like and subscribe, something like that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks so much for watching Super Pixar Girl. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Ah! I really like that. Thank you.